Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you just one clip to watch, so it probably won't be a long video, in which a 60-year-old woman who's owned her own small business for decades, who has suffered like countless others due to the Rona bug, and whilst people who are committing serious felonies are out there having a good old joyride, small business owners are being targeted as if they're the criminals for trying to put steam on the table, keep their doors open, pay their mortgage or their rent. So the usual Rona enforcement types turn up at her business trying to shut her down, and she puts them to rights. She puts the world to rights. What she has to say is so spot on that I just have to share it with you. And I was going to give you a snippet of what she says, but I'm going to wait until she says it herself, so I don't want to take the wind out of her sails. She really socks it to them. So without further ado, let's get into this video. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video around. That'll help me stay competitive with the likes of CNN and MSNBC, who just want to give you that one narrative that you're not allowed to question. Let's go. Okay, so over to the woman. I'll enhance the audio because she's speaking with a very pronounced Scottish accent.
Yes, but surely you can see what I'm trying to point you're trying to make. I've told you, Chloe, and you said it earlier. I'm in here to try and earn a living and use my liquor license to do so. And I've come in here to do lots of paperwork and to do lots of casework on an insurance company that's refusing to pay me. So as a person that still has all the overheads for their business and expected to pay full rent, I'm actually at 68, I'm under enough pressure without being bullied here. I understand. You don't. You won't understand. Respectfully, you won't understand till the knock comes to your door and your wages stop. That's when you'll understand.
It's not Nicola Sturgeon to pay your wages, probably. It's not Nicola Sturgeon to pay you guys' wages. It's her.
And I really feel intimidated here. I've got
Me too.
many, I have 3 police officers in here.
4.
Which is 4.
Yeah, the other one is outside, I think.
All right. And it's just so over the top. What is it you want to do? Browbeat me and frighten me?
Yeah.
You want me in tears on the counter? I've been here for 16 years and worked like a navvy to make my business survive. I'm asking you 3 human beings, where is your heart? Where is your common sense? Where is your dignity?
Unfortunately, it's not up to ourselves to decide what gets enforced.
You know what?
The SS said the same thing, guys.
And I'm going to tell you.
It's my job, but that doesn't count.
See, in Nuremberg, the Nuremberg trials, when they says I was only following orders, it wasn't taken for an excuse.
It's not quite the same, is it?
It is the same.
It is the same.
It is the same.
Thank you.
Right, let's watch again because there's so many points I want to make. I mean, I'll try and keep them short. I know you guys don't like it when I yap on too much. That's why I wanted to play the whole clip through first, and then I'll make my points. I had to applaud then because it's like people are reading my mind. You know, it's like I often say that you might think you're crazy, you might think you're alone, you might think the world's against you when you're going against the mainstream narrative, when you're going against the left-wing narrative, the globalist narrative, and you could think you're alone. Look at what's happened to people. They've lost their jobs, they've lost they've lost everything. People, if you go against the narrative, people have been denied flights on planes, they've been denied access to PayPal, they've been denied, most chillingly in rare cases, bank accounts. And what can you do without a bank account? All for going against the narrative. That's how frightening it can be. But you're not alone. You're not alone. And that's what I'm saying. I've often said on this channel that that I'm just following orders was used by the Nuremberg trials by the camp guards, and they went to the gallows. Each and every one of them who used that excuse, they all went to the gallows. So it's not a valid excuse. I'm not saying they should go to the gallows. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's not a valid excuse. This era we're in now, where there just seems to be different standards applied to everyone. There's a whole score of different standards that get applied to different people in the same circumstances, and it's creating a very fractured society where essentially anything goes. How high you are up on the greasy totem pole of intersectionality depends on what you can get away with in any particular circumstance or situation. 4 police officers have turned up to a 60-year-old woman in a small town hardware store. Unbelievable. So let's go back and watch again, and I'll stop it a couple of times because there's a couple of points I want to make. That's a perfect deflection there from the officer. So the woman said about Iceland, which is a supermarket here in Britain, how people are going in there packed to the rafters. That's okay, but why not her having her shop open, her independently owned shop, not big business, independently owned, and the odd customer coming in is a problem. She points this out to the officer, and the officer's response is, well, we're not talking about that. Deflection 101.
But surely you can see what the point I'm trying to make. I've told you, Chloe, and yourself earlier, I'm in here to try and earn a living and use my liquor licence to do so. And I've come in here to do lots of paperwork and to do lots of casework on an insurance company that's refusing to pay me. So as a person that still has all the overheads for their business and expected to pay full rent, I'm actually at 68, I'm under enough pressure without being bullied here.
I understand the issues that you're facing as a business.
You won't understand, respectfully, you won't understand till the nut comes to your door and your wages stop.
Perfect. She said it herself. You won't understand. You often see these Rona enforcers, they always say, oh, I understand, as they take everything from you. Whilst you're having your life destroyed, she already said that she's got an insurance company, big business, refusing to pay out. She's 60 years old. If she goes under, she's finished. She's destitute. She can't start again at her age. And she said, look, this is a thing. This movement of fear, this movement of negativity, it's her today who had the knock. Then it'll be someone else tomorrow, and so on and so on. What happens, because it's her taxes that pay for these Rona enforcers. When everyone's gone under, what are you going to do then? What are they going to do then? Now they're here, hassling her. What are they going to do? Because eventually they will do something out of desperation, like these small businesses have opened out of desperation. All over the Western Hemisphere, people are doing this, they're fighting back. And the response is always the same. Send 2 teams full of Rona enforcers to scare a 60-year-old woman. But if all of these businesses close and there's no taxes left, or very little, these officers, these Rona enforcers who get let off, they will eventually do something out of desperation, and then what will happen? The knock will come for them too.
That's when you
There's not Nicola Sturgeon to pay your wages, bro. There's not Nicola Sturgeon to pay you guys' wages. Sir.
And I really feel intimidated here. I've got
Me too.
many 3 police officers in here.
4.
Which is 4.
Yeah, the other one is outside, I think.
All right. And it's just so over the top. What is it you want to do? Browbeat me and frighten me?
exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
You want me in tears on the counter? I've been here for 16 years and worked like a navvy to make my business survive. I'm asking you three human beings, where is your heart? Where is your common sense?
Yeah. You need to stop just complying like lemmings and start bloody thinking. Because these officers, where is their heart and their compassion? Do they really think they're doing good? They joined the force, or what is the service now, ostensibly to stop people robbing banks and doing other such high crimes and misdemeanors. But instead, they're here getting paid using the tax money from the small businesses they are there to intimidate and shut down, hassling a 60-year-old woman. Is that really what you're in it for? Because if it is, you need to grow a spine, grow a conscience, grow a pair, and you need to do it right now. You need to do it yesterday, you need to do it last week.
Where is your dignity?
Unfortunately, it's not up to ourselves to decide what gets enforced.
You know what?
The SS said the same thing, guys.
And I'm going to
I
tell
find
you,
it's my job, but that doesn't count.
see in Nuremberg, the Nuremberg trials,
You're not meant to.
when they says I was only following orders, it wasn't taken for an excuse.
Quite the same, is it?
It is getting
Okay, so they're saying it's not quite the same thing. Well, it is, because it started with small businesses being targeted, didn't it? And then it started to people being rounded up, didn't it? Which is starting to happen. I mean, they're keeping it hush-hush, but that's starting to happen. I mean, you saw the people being locked in their own apartment blocks in Australia and Canada. There's a hotel that's been commandeered. So it went from targeting small businesses to carting people off, and then we had the inevitable. Well, it wasn't inevitable, but looking back on history, we know what happened. That's what I meant. So it is the same thing. It is the same thing, and you do have a choice. You're trying to put her out of business. Why don't you just not do it? Why don't you just say no? If you understand, like you say you do.
It is quite the same.
It is the same.
It is the same.
It is the same.
Thank you.
So that's the end of the clip. I hope those Rona enforcers go home at the end of the shift, a long hard shift of targeting those 60-year-old women, shutting down those salons and hardware stores and bakeries. Oh, you're doing such a good service to your community. And I hope you think about who you are and what you are and who you serve. Who do you really serve? Because you're not serving the taxpayers. She pays your wages. She does. Your wages, which you're probably taking home more than she is, when it's her who's funding you. Think fast and grow a pair. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video around. That'll help me stay competitive with the likes of CNN, MSNBC and the like, who just love all this. They love all this. This is on their backs. This moving wall of fear and suspicion and paranoia in society has been generated by a gleeful mainstream media. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.